Hi my floral friends, my name is Maria, I'm the head florist here at Amaranté London, and today I'm going to be showing you how to tie this dried flower arrangement. This bouquet was inspired by the colours in the infamous Starry Night painting. As always, your flowers have been picked by the grower, so you know you're getting the most sustainable product on the market to create your bespoke piece of art. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on Instagram and keep watching to see how I created this look. So when you open your box, you will receive a bunch of eucalyptus, 1 stem of lunaria, 1 stem of ruscus, 3 stems of delphinium, 2 stems of gypsophilia, 1 stem of helico, 3 craspedia, 3 helichrysum, 2 eryngium thistles, 2 achillea, and 6 laguarus. So for this arrangement, I have this vase in mind. Quite simple, it's quite plain, it's just white coloured. This is because we're going to let the flowers do the talking. It's quite a bold, bright combination of flowers, so if you're going to put it in quite a loud vase, it might just be a bit overkill, so we're going for something a bit more simple. The neck of this vase is quite wide, which means that we are going to create an arrangement that lends itself to be a bit wider and a bit more fanned out. Before you start to tie anything, you will need to prepare your stems. What this means is you'll need to clean off any foliage that will come into your tying point. And you can also separate the stems. So here where you see that the stem separates, just trim those off. And now you get a few more stems to work with. So now all your stems are prepared, you can start tying it. So I'm going to be starting with this stem of eucalyptus. It's quite big, it's quite bushy, it'll give a nice backing for the bouquet. So I'm going to mix that in just to start with some bleached ruscus, just to give it a bit more colour. As you can see, we're going to start spiralling our stems now. This means that we are going to lay each stem on top of each other and just keep turning the bouquet. That means that you will be able to get an even balance of all of the materials that you're going to be using. So when you decide which side you like best, you can kind of decide this fairly early on in the bouquet. You can start to bring in your taller stems. So I'm going in first with the delphinium, right at the back of the bouquet. We've got quite a lot of stems of delphinium, so it's nice to keep it consistent by starting right from the back and bringing the delphinium all the way towards the front of the arrangement. I'm also going to mix this in with a little bit of this tall gyp. Again, we've got quite a lot of gyp, so we want to make sure that it can be seen all the way from the back and is carried through to the front. So the next stem I'm going to be using is this lunaria. This is such an interesting flower. It's really quite a focal part of the arrangement. So I've kept it quite tall, just so it looks a bit statement. I've also managed to get 2 pieces out of my stem, which is really nice. Just adding in a little bit of foliage to the bottom, just to give it a bit more volume, to spread out the stems a bit more. This is more commonly known as honesty, but the name lunaria comes from the Latin word moon-shaped, which refers to the shape of the leaves. And given that this bouquet was inspired by Starry Night, I thought it tied in really nicely. I thought it was really cute. So I'm just still working in some of that delphinium, but just being cautious not to cover the honesty because it's quite focal. This delphinium is one of my favourite flowers. It's got such a nice colour, it dries out so beautifully. So I'm just mixing in some of this gyp still, just to create a bit more volume. Now this is where you can see the colours, the inspiration from A Starry Night really come forward. You can see this kind of light white colour that reflects the moon and the stars, and this yellow, the same, and the blue from the night sky. So now I'm going to go in with this Lagarus just to balance the blues. So we'll have blue on one side, reflected on this side. I've left a few stems of the delphinium, the shorter ones, just so we can come back to them, just to finish the bouquet around this side. So this navy blue colour will look really nice in the new modern look that people are going for. People are going for a lot more decadence within their homes, and navy is a massive trend, so this will look really nice in that kind of style of room. It will match with the wall colours or the sofas that you've got, but will also pop because you've got these bright yellow touches. Again, distributing the colour with this Cresspedia, just mixing it through. I'm also starting to add my thistle here, just to break up the blue and yellow colours, just to add a different texture to the bouquet. I'm just working tallest to shortest, just stepping everything down so it's visible in front. What's really nice about this bouquet is that there's so many different materials, different colours, different textures that you can play with. The beauty of dry flowers is that they don't all look the same. They're a really natural product, so your piece of art will look different to mine. As you can see, I've just placed that helichrysum in for a final floral touch. I'm just going to pull this bit of eucalyptus out because it's not allowing me to see all of the flowers here that I've got towards the front, the focal area of the bouquet. So I'm just going to pull it out, take off some of the leaves so they're not in my binding point. Just place it in the front. This will also protect our softer stem, so the stem on this eucalyptus is a lot woodier than the stem on the Lagarus and the helichrysum and these really fragile delphinium. So they will protect your stems here as well when you cover them with this last bit of foliage. So now that your bouquet is all spiraled and organised exactly the way that you want it to be, you can start manipulating some of the stems, just pulling them out and slipping them back in. Place them exactly where you want them. So when you've finished your arrangement, just grab your string, you can lay it flat on the table. Because we use this large bit of eucalyptus at the back, it means that all the flowers are protected. So when you lay it flat, nothing's going to happen to them. It's best to go around your stems quite a few times. double knot it. Just make sure you tie it as tight as you possibly can without cracking anything. But just want to make sure that nothing is going to fall down through the bouquet. So now you've finished and tied your arrangement, you can grab your vase. And what you want to do is just measure up your stems against the vase. So you can see here, I roughly want to cut it around there, just so that it fits nicely. Just pop it in the vase. So if you find that your flowers are sinking into the vase a little bit, you can always push a bit of brown paper into the bottom of the vase. This will just prop them up a little bit so they don't look so sinking. Also, if you have placed your flowers into a more narrow vase, you can always cut the string just here, and it will fan your arrangement out and make it sit really nicely against the neck of your vase. So this is the finished look for today. Don't forget, these flowers will last up to 3 years, so they're a really sustainable alternative to fresh flowers. To try your hand at any other of our dried flower arrangements, click the link below to shop now. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone.